We're live with episode 2. How's that for counting?
There we
I
go.
haven't lost track yet.
Numero
Numero
When we
dos.
get into episode 31, it'll be a bit
I
harder.
don't need your help there. We started with an experiment last podcast, the very first one, if you guys can count backwards like myself. And we're hockey players, not just, we're smart too.
We're scholars.
Scholars.
Scholars out
Absolute.
here.
Not just
yes.
on the ice, but off the ice.
No, so we started the podcast with the genius marketing plan of not telling anyone about it. The experiment was to see,
Except for the people that DM'd me.
there was some leakage.
There was a little bit
Yeah.
of leakage. There
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
There was.
That's
A couple Instagram stories.
I didn't say
Just a
the
couple.
name of the podcast. I didn't
No,
link to it. I didn't
yes.
upload any clips except for on their native channels. But we spoke of it, so people were naturally curious, and some people found us.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
some people just searched Coach Jeremy on Spotify and said it showed up. I couldn't do that.
Genius.
That's smart. That's smart.
I don't know. Their deductive reasoning just
Yeah.
impeccable. So I'm just gonna go over the results. Like how do we do?
Right.
Fresh account on Instagram and
Well, yeah, I can
TikTok.
pull up
I'm actually
our anchor thing too.
interested in seeing.
I was pretty impressed, and there is obviously the experiment was somewhat tainted, but let's just get into it so we can move on to the next topic.
All right.
On TikTok, we were doing all right. We got 44 followers.
Okay.
44 beauties.
Yeah,
How
we
many
Or
views on the
beauties.
video?
we uploaded one clip
Yeah,
there.
just one clip.
One clip, and it has 3,700 views, which
Okay.
is
That's
is
pretty
decent.
solid.
And I do think that Chippy over here might have reposted or thrown it out in the story.
Did you-
And that went nuclear.
Yeah.
That went nuclear on the story.
oh yeah.
So we'll see where we go from here once I start chucking it up on my account. I got a few followers. Let's see. On Instagram Reel, same clip, 7,700 views. I
That's
think that's impressive.
impressive. That's
that-
impressive on Instagram.
That is good. Yeah.
Nearly 10K views on
Yeah.
on an account with 0
How
followers.
many people followed?
We got 65 followers there. So good.
Holy,
Alright,
okay,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Now
Through Anchor, we got I think something like 60 or 70 plays.
Podcast
So through
listens?
Spotify
Yep.
or Apple Music. Now we have Amazon Music available as well.
yeah, I guess it's hard because there's so many platforms
Yeah.
to judge your listener base. We won't get into that stats.
Yeah.
As Gretzky says, stats are for nerds.
Yeah. Didn't he say that to Paul?
Bissonnette,
Bissonnette?
yeah.
Yeah, on the
Bissonnette.
live TV. Yeah.
Bissonnette's going on about the stats of this goalie, who's going to play best, and just using stats as a sole basis. And Gretzky's like, hey, stats are for nerds.
Stats are for nerds.
What do you say to that?
Yeah,
What do you say?
when
Like,
Gretzky says that to you.
okay.
Yeah.
And his reasoning, he's like, Glenn Healy, he might let in 5 goals, but he's not letting in the 6 when it counts.
Right.
Right,
The clutch plays.
when we need him to stop that puck, it's not going in the net,
Right.
and that's what matters. Like, who cares if he let in 5? He's not letting in 6.
Right.
Exactly.
Huh?
You get in that mental state, you're not going to let
So
it affect you.
let's not nerd out too much. But on YouTube, we got 19 subscribers. We're doing okay.
It was 17 this morning. What happened?
We got it went up by 2. That's what happened.
Couple beauties found the pod is what happened.
17 plus 2. I haven't even subscribed yet, so
We
maybe
posted a little clip on there yesterday,
yeah, just a little short clip.
but not many.
So, anyways, that's the experiment. I'll blast it out on How To Hockey and Coach Jeremy. Get on the TikTok.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I should show
we go.
people. I set up this the studio so I can show the screen.
Wow.
We
That's
can play
unreal.
audio, so if
That's
we want
unreal.
to watch stuff over, we can.
We have the most advanced setup for
A second
for
podcast.
19 subscribers on
Yeah.
YouTube.
This is
welcome.
unbelievable.
Yeah, we want to get her going the right.
Holy.
Get it started right. Let's get into our first topic. Let's do dad jokes. Let's fire some up. You got any
I
there?
got zero.
You got 0 dad jokes.
Zero.
I got 0 off the dome,
I'm
but
sure Hayden can pull one out.
I'll think about it. Do you have one prepped? I gotta
I'll
think of
throw
one.
one out there. All right. It's one of my favorites. Please no punchline spoilers if you know.
Okay.
I know Hayden likes to hop.
Uh,
I know this one.
I don't know a lot of dad jokes. So
All right. Why can't you cross an eel and an eagle?
eel and an eagle.
why can't you
cross an-
Why can't you breed an eel with an eagle?
I don't know if I've heard
because
this.
there's an e
Because
already.
because it would be eel eagle.
Oh, I was close. I was close.
Oh man, I haven't had a chance to
Wow.
think of one. You just put me on the spot.
I'm an improv guy, but I can't just come up with a dad joke on the spot.
Dad
but-
joke.
I'll have to get you guys to write them down next time.
Holy.
'Cause that concludes our
That
dad
concludes
jokes.
dad jokes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're not
Hey,
dads yet,
hey.
so I don't tell my dog jokes.
The only dad here has got the dad jokes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let us know though in the comments of the socials. So you know
What's your
best-
favorite dad
Yeah,
joke?
let us know in the comments. Yeah.
Comment
Best
I love dad joke. I just in the pressure I couldn't think of one.
That's all right. That's all right.
No, the
think of one
pressure
before
gets
the
to
end
me.
of the
Usually it
episode.
doesn't. Coach Chip usually get under pressure.
All right. Let's go into NHL. What's going on?
Right.
Mm.
I thought that something fun to do was just like basically browse Reddit hockey.
Okay. Yeah.
Great sub. And
I
it
got
kind of.
that pulled up
Oh,
already.
we got it here. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll skip past this one because there's it's
what?
a necklace.
Oh my god.
This is great. So Milan Lucic,
yeah.
who was it? Jacob Slavin's trying to get on the ice.
Yes, body.
Oh, just bodies on.
So for the people not watching, basically, you put like one leg over the bench, you're about to hop on the ice, you're waiting for your shift change, right? Lucic sees the guy sitting there waiting for the line change, and he just
Yeah.
goes, nah. And he goes, shoves him back into his own bench.
Okay.
That is a
Yeah.
power
I
move.
love that
That's a
stuff. I love
power
that
move.
stuff. We love that stuff, but we need to bring that back to the game.
Could you get away with that in men's league? Could you
Oh
imagine?
yeah.
But I mean, most guys go through the door in men's league, so you
Yeah,
you
no
kinda,
one's hopping.
Oh, but you could just close the door when they're like waiting to get off. You just close the door on them. Yeah.
You might have a problem in the parking lot if you do that in the men's league. These guys,
Yeah.
some of these guys are.
No,
I don't know what's going on in
The
their
ref
head.
would
That's
probably
the
kick
team.
you
You
out,
say
yeah.
you play the same team so often, you don't really want to get on their bad
Yeah.
side and do pull stuff like that. Like just
Right.
let the guy line change, right? But if you're getting paid, why not?
What else we got? Oh, this is the.
A big
You guys
fight.
see this Wi-Fi?
The Wi-Fi.
versus
Someone
chassis?
commented that, and I was like, "What was everyone saying? Wi-Fi?"
I know,
So I'm like, "Okay, I don't like. What's he talking about? Wi-Fi?"
yeah.
So I always butcher everyone's last name. I would go with Eschat.
Yeah. No, that's
Estaj?
not how you pronounce his last name.
How do you, please?
I'd
I
go
don't know.
Hekaj, Hekaj,
on.
Hekaj.
But it's not Wi-Fi. That's his.
I know,
nickname.
obviously it's not Wi-Fi.
It looks like a Wi-Fi password.
It looks like a Wi-Fi password. So his name is XHE.
Oh, that's probably why they called him it.
Yes.
There we
Hands
go.
in on the joke.
There you go. I didn't get it
Welcome to the
either. I didn't get
chat.
it either until I was watching like Sportsnet last night. They're like, this Wi-Fi nickname, which one's better? I
And
forget who the other one was.
Right.
And I think we'll go down to the next one, and this will be the topic of the podcast. So this is the state of the NHL. Are they anti-fans? Like, is the NHL actually against
Oh,
the
okay.
fans? Now, I don't want to go
Oh.
too deep into this specifically, but I thought a better general topic is what's wrong with hockey,
Right.
which is that's a little depressing, but people like to complain.
Or like, what would you change?
what would you change? What's wrong?
Like just in
with
hockey in
What's-
general,
like,
or
We'll say hockey in
there's
general.
quite a lot of things that people have been talking about lately.
Here's the
Past
thing.
couple years.
Here's the thing: is that as a kid, there was nothing wrong with hockey, and I think when I was a kid, obviously there were things, right?
Mhm.
But as
Just
a,
weren't aware.
you're
Of
just
them.
not aware of it, and it's
Yeah.
almost better. You know
Well,
what I
the
mean? Like
bliss of-
the ignorance.
I
is
mean, it's
bliss.
It's better for the people that don't know,
It's better for the kids, yeah.
but
like-
there's probably kids from back then that were getting
yes. Oh no,
those
for sure,
situations,
for
right?
sure.
And they definitely knew. So it's
my
kind of like
my experience was untainted,
yes,
which I really appreciate.
Right.
But that's not the case for everybody who went through hockey. There's obviously were
I
things.
think that should be the narrative. I mean, that's the narrative that I strive for. Is that
Oh yeah.
if you're fortunate enough to get through and play hockey or a sport you love without overcoming any diversity like that,
with a pure-
or being
well,
forced to.
Well, I mean, there should
Yeah.
be some diversity as far as like winning and losing, and
The
that
game
type of stuff.
The-
Yeah,
not,
the
I'm
game.
talking like
and
off the ice or
yeah,
like
there-
politics and
there,
that.
there shouldn't be like
Yeah.
too much or any of like certain types. But
Mhm.
yeah, like if could you imagine if every kid just had a pure experience with the game?
Yeah, that's called the utopia, I think.
Yeah, everything's good all the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's how I feel. I mean, I had coaches that were like, just throw the puck on the ice, but there was nothing really, really wrong with
Right. Yeah, I can see
my
that.
hockey experience. You?
No,
No, it was pretty good.
the
Solid.
odd coach was a little bit rough around the edges, and the parents didn't like it. And like I had a coach who was teaching us the one chant or whatever you walk on the ice,
Yeah.
like shoot, pass, kick him in the ass,
Yeah.
don't be shy,
Yeah,
punch him
yeah.
in the eye.
Right,
And
right.
he added another line to it that I won't repeat on here.
Oh, okay, okay.
But, but yeah,
well.
the coaches are. Some of them were a little.
Can you
iffy.
give us the first half before he gets to the bad part?
I just said that, but I actually don't rember.
Oh, okay,
no
okay.
idea.
my
He's
parents-
got no idea.
I think my parents like researched how to erase it from my brain or something.
They had the Men in Black.
Yeah,
Was
just
it?
that didn't
Nuclear eraser?
happen. Yeah.
But you and I both played like minor hockey, small town hockey, small
Yeah.
barns. Like
Mhm.
fairly like it was competitive, but not
The only
elite.
the
It
only
wasn't
like
elite.
diversity I'd say would be like in
Adversity.
like, adversity or like not diversity, but adversity.
I mean,
Clarification there. In like playoff games, like with the parents in the stands and that kind of stuff, like that's the only time that minor hockey gets serious enough. AAA is probably
Yeah.
that serious all the time.
yeah, that's like every game.
Every game.
So
Every
yeah.
game.
So Chippy here, he went through the AAA system. He was in elite hockey, and I'm sure it's a little bit different
Elite
story.
player too. Yeah.
Elite
Yeah,
player.
no, I'd say like the AAA is crazy. Like I just say like for me, I right out of like when I was 5, I tried out for the Barrie AAA team, and just like right from the get go, it's just like it's next level. Like all these kids are competing at the highest level.
Right.
You're waking up, you're going to these practices. It's like the drills, everything is so like structured. I always had really good coaches. Like they would structure the practices really well. You would know what you're doing. I think that's the biggest difference between like a AAA and AA.
Right.
It's just the practices, the intensity, the pace. Like you know what you're doing. You're stringing passes. But in terms of just like some adversity, like it would just be like the politics that it gets crazy. Like you get kids that are coming up that are new to the team. They're not going to be getting the ice time. They're paying just as much. And now you got parents not liking each other. You got managers, it's just the whole 9 yards. Like
It's professional. It's professional
Professional,
hockey
it
with
is.
kids.
It's the
Like, they run
mindset
it.
of a professional. Yeah.
yeah,
No, like the parents.
That's what I mean. The parents
parents
want
are-
the kids to be like
The
professional.
parents are
Yeah.
treating it like it is professional. Like
well,
it's
because
a
you're paying,
business.
you're
It's a
paying
business.
like a crazy amount. You got your 5. You got to get up at 6 a.m. Then you're going to Kingston. Then you're going to Oshawa. You're driving across the entire world. You're going to the States for a tournament. Like it's obviously this similar like throughout all like just competitive hockey. You're going to be traveling.
Yep.
But just like the AAA, it's a lot of these kids are trying to make it to the next level and eventually play pro.
Some of them do.
Some of them do.
Yeah.
So my experience in hockey, like my parents basically just like sign them up, drop them off at the rink. I didn't even know what tryouts
Didn't
were.
you like walk your bag to the rink a few times?
Well,
or
there's a
something?
few times where it was like a snowstorm. I just loved the game so much. Right? Mom's like, I can't take you. There's a snowstorm. I'm like, no problem. I'm gonna throw it on the sled. Like the ice is open. We can't not go to the rink. Like
Right,
this is our
exactly.
spot. It's the one time a week that I get to practice because we had one practice, one game. Or 2 practices, 2 games, depending on what team I was on. Right?
So was it just weekends or like when you were
Yeah,
playing?
game
was
on
it-
the weekend and practice during the week. Sometimes it was 2 practices and 2 games.
That's pretty much for
Yeah,
me too.
depends on the team level, like or what age I was, right? But when I was younger, like I think I was like 14. I'm like, no, I'm taking the sled. I did the bungee cords and put the
Sled to the
bag-
game?
Yeah, I
That's
sledded
next
to the
level.
game.
That's Canadian right there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just like okay, I'm taking the back road, so I don't go by the police station. Let's get to the rink.
Exactly.
Yeah. But like my experience, like it was a really good experience looking back, and I didn't mind that it wasn't like I didn't know the difference in like the craziness of elite hockey and how chill just like our league was and the division I was in. But when you look back, like was it good? Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it because I was never playing like in over my head. Like there's kids that are playing AAA. They're not the best on the team. You're not getting the ice is cut in AAA. Like we had guys that would come up from AA thinking they were going to be getting ice,
Right.
and they're not. And the guys like Alex when he was playing, like he's going to be going out in the third period. Some guys would like get benched the entire third period. Like,
Oh yeah.
and then after the game, they're in the locker room. They're not talking to anybody. Then the guys that are playing, I always was playing, so I was always popular in the room because I'm having fun. I've been on the team for 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
getting
the-
all the ice
That's
time.
this like the social politics
Yeah.
level of AAA where there's like the status quo. or
Obviously, you're not going to be in a
status,
great mood if you sat the whole third period.
Yeah.
You're not going
Yeah.
to come, oh, great game.
And then we
Yeah.
were on a good team, so we're winning, so we're all happy. But these kids
Yeah.
just sat the entire third, and it's
Yeah.
like
They got-
I'm fired up. I'm dancing around the room. I'm like the comedian guy.
Yeah.
Then there's the kid like pretty much crying in the corner because they missed the entire third.
Right.
You had great seats to the game, though.
Great seats to the game. They were watching me blow up that ice and
You're watching a future NHLer,
quarterback the power
future
play.
best pond hockey player.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Future podcaster and TikTok star, Coach Chippy. They got
Right
to sit in
here,
the front
right
row.
here.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that was it. Like AAA was awesome. I enjoyed playing it, and then in high school, I knew I wasn't like the biggest guy. Like I was like, all right, I'm gonna take it down. I went down to AA, played at AA, was one of the best players on that team. Like I was always playing at the level I should be playing at, and I was good at hockey. So it was like I would never had that not getting the ice time or the coach doesn't like you. I was really good
Right.
at listening. Like some guys just don't listen, and like That's a problem in AAA because if you're not listening to the drill and you're messing up the drill and you're not, that
Get a smack in the
yeah,
head,
exactly.
right?
You're getting a smack in the head, and it's like, yeah.
And I think it really is a matter of the right personality type, finding the right level to play at. Because if you're really driven and you like that, like,
challenge,
fast pace,
the-
you want the
yeah.
challenge, like go to AAA hockey and play that. And if you don't mind being pushed and having having someone,
Being
kind
held
of,
accountable.
yeah, exactly. Like, more responsibility and accountability and all that stuff. If you like that, you enjoy it, then push yourself to AAA. But if you're more chill, relaxed, don't really care, you just want to have a good time, hang out with the boys, just, play single A or play house league, or, you can still, there's a different level, right? There's so many different levels of hockey. So I think that's it. If there's a mismatch there.
Yeah, go down and score 70 goals in Double A, or get no ice in Triple A. You might as well go down Double A, get better, and
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
In the end, like, a very small percentage really make a career out of hockey.
Very small.
Unless you pivot and just make YouTube videos like this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, create, baby, create.
It is kind of interesting, actually. I remember idolizing Jason Spezza when he was. I was 14. He was 16.
Betsy,
He's only a couple years older.
Only a couple years older, but for some reason I just had the hugest man crush on him. And now he's retired, and I'm like, oh, my career might outlast him.
Yeah,
My career. I mean,
Right.
I never had any of those 7-figure paychecks, contracts.
I think he might be working with the Leafs now.
He is.
Yes,
is,
yeah.
yeah.
In recruitment or something, or I think.
That's cool.
Yeah, like scouting, like that department.
He's in management, but there are some other players that they got a sniff of the NHL. They got drafted, they worked their butts off and then played a couple games. Now they're working as a real estate agent or something, right? So technically, if I would compare what I did, just making YouTube videos, and I'm still involved in the game. And when I look back, I think what did I want to do? I wanted to be involved in hockey. I always
loved hockey. Yeah,
I loved the game. I would always search, how can I make hockey a part of my life, and managed to do it.
Right.
Not through being a pro player, but what I really want to do is play hockey for the rest of my life, and I'm still playing.
and you get to record it for
There you go.
GoPros.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's what's cool about like social media now is that you don't have to be a professional basketball player to make a living in the basketball space. Like, I love watching it, and there's these kids, there's YouTube kids, they're going to these outdoor what's it called? Courts.
Yeah.
They're going to filming a little takeover.
Outdoor arenas.
Exactly.
Yeah. Rinks.
And it's awesome because they're doing their thing. People like watching kind of like amateurs. Not everyone wants to watch pro stuff. Like
Right.
Yeah, that was the N1 back in the day.
Oh, you were telling me about
N1
that. Yeah,
basketball,
yeah.
and they
N1, the street ball stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
they made a whole,
It's a whole
brand
brand.
out of
Yeah.
street ball,
So
the,
cool.
the other side of it. We were thinking,
It's
how
like a
can we do
culture
that for
thing.
hockey, the
Yeah.
pond hockey.
ODR, man. ODR
right?
takeovers,
But
man.
the thing is, there's such
So
a
harder to,
hockey?
to access
Yeah.
ice, and
Yeah.
the whole culture around it is you need to basically live in a decent community that
and
has a rink.
chances are, if you're filthy with the puck, you're probably playing elite hockey.
Yeah, you're
there's-
already
Yeah.
playing. Yeah.
right. There's no guys just dusting people on
Except
the
Coach Chip.
pond.
Yeah. Yeah, except for Coach Chip. He's out there just dangling the neighborhood kids, embarrassing them.
I do. I want to do that this winter. Like,
You wanna embarrass the
ODR?
kids?
Oh yeah. I want to go. I want to show up and do
We'll do it.
ODR takeovers,
Oh,
like
yeah.
announce and be like, all
Let's
right,
do
let's
it.
go.
I started a
it
series
fun.
last year doing going
Did
to
you?
ODRs, doing reviews of the ODR itself.
there and
Because a
dominate.
lot of time you go and there's not a lot of people there. There may be one kid, and it's okay, I'm not going to dummy this one kid, but I'll review the rink while I'm
What
there.
if we did a little announcement, oh, we're popping up on Saturday,
yeah.
come
Oh, they would,
out.
yeah.
Yes,
And that's
that'd
gonna
be
be,
good.
and,
Take us on.
and then it's,
Yeah.
the, it's
Take
the
us on.
energy in for
We
the
can do a
videos.
3-on-3 versus some local
Sure.
kids,
Yeah,
yeah.
and you might
Be-
go.
3 versus
between-
8.
Between you, me, and Hayden, I think we'll get enough people coming out to the rinks.
And they're
Yeah.
gonna want to give it to us too. So it's gonna
Yeah.
be all these kids out here. All right, let's go, boys.
Start a new series. I
Low key,
think,
we can
right?
play. And low key, they don't even know we can play. We got that
Oh.
man strength now, boys. If you're listening to this and you want to get out on the ODR,
Yeah.
we got the man
Stay-
strength.
Stay tuned to the socials. You know the best move I love. You're going against the kids and you flip the puck up and they all come at you and just go boop and you pop it over all their heads and it just lands
up
at
on
the other side of the herd and then
Yeah.
someone just picks it up. Oh god.
Yeah.
I'm a stick lift guy. Like,
Oh,
if
yeah,
you got that
just-
man stick lift
You
when
throw,
that's
throw the
bang.
kid stick into the bush.
Yeah,
like-
you're tossing it over the boards. You're not even gonna be able to know where that stick went.
And I find with the smaller kids, you get the elbows up and they just fall like
Oh,
flies.
yeah,
Pop,
yeah,
pop,
fall like
pop,
flies.
and they're their
Right.
mom has to pull them off because they're crying, right?
I'm
And
dropping shoulders on
I
these
don't
kids.
know what
It's-
kind of pond hockey you guys have been playing, but I've never done this to kids.
you go 3v20,
they don't- yeah.
and then before you know it, it's 3v3. And
In
they're
our
too scared to
practice
even-
the other day,
How
at
many
the end,
5-year-olds do you think you could play against on the ODR and win?
all of them,
All of them.
all the 5-year-olds? 5-year-olds is nothing.
Like 5-year-olds, yeah, like
It's like they're not even there.
300.
Yeah, you get
I-
back the rink.
I did
300?
1v.
One sauce across and land it.
300, and they couldn't stop me. I'd
Right.
be
In our practice the other day, at the end or whatever, the kids were starting to lose interest in the one like battle drill. So it was like, all right, 1v8, let's go.
Everyone versus
and then
you.
and then they just try to like hack you down, and you just like you're dangling
Just put
through
the bows up, man. Just put the bows up.
Well, no, they're too low. You got to put
the shin pads on too, because they'll
Yeah.
be smoking you in the shins.
Oh, yeah, I need the
Yeah.
shinnies for sure for the
Yeah.
hack jobs. All right, so getting back to what's wrong with hockey, would you change anything about your minor hockey career? Anything that like you're like, I don't really like that, or
I don't like now how the hitting's such a late age to start. My age was the last age group to do it. I think it was minor peewee we started hitting.
Yeah.
Which was a good age because you're not like a man. Like once you're a man and these kids don't know how to hit, it's the injuries that are involved in that because they don't know how to hit. And now the first year of hitting, everyone's just crushing each other.
Yeah.
And like when you're at a younger age, you're lighter. It's
I think it would be like my changes that I would make would be kind of similar to that because like as a kid growing up, once body contact got into the game, I wasn't for that really.
really.
I was one of those ones that was like, okay, my skill level was the only thing that I had against that. I never really threw my body around, but I think that now games are becoming more focused on like the positional play, and it's like the body is just a way to get the puck back, and that's the focus.
Yeah.
More. Whereas back then it was like, oh, body contact. Okay, I'm gonna go and absolutely wreck this kid.
Destroy this guy.
Yeah.
I was late to the puberty party, so I was the smallest guy
So
on
was I.
the team,
Right.
and I discovered the hip check.
Oh,
and I was like, let's take down some giants.
yeah, exactly.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Hold their knee
They'd
out.
be coming right down the center, and I
Yeah.
just get low and lift up. I flipped a few guys,
Yeah.
Right.
but I didn't have a lot of weight to throw around, and
Your brother is
my brother was
pretty.
he was intense. My brother was
Run guys, I
a
imagine.
maniac out there. Oh, the goalie comes out to play the puck. Good night.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
He's like, oh, he came out
That
to
was
play it. No,
that
that's-
was 10 years earlier than when I played
Yeah.
at that age. The
But-
body contact.
But yeah, as far as body contact, we learned it early as well, and I think it was
Yeah.
great because you learn about. It's not just like you're trying to take kids' heads off, and that's what happens when you don't start checking until you're like 14, 15. You get these kids that are just like pumped full of testosterone, and they
Yeah,
want to
other
take
kids that
people's
are-
heads
yeah,
off, right?
Yeah.
And that's all. They're like, let's just crush people. They're listening to like Limp Bizkit, like, give me something to break. And they're just going after people. That was like my dress. There was a few kids in the locker room, and they just.
They saw Woodstock footage and
Yeah,
Exactly.
98 or 99. Yeah.
So, yeah, if you get that a little earlier before they have this like killer mentality,
Yeah.
then they learn that, it's about angling and separating the body from the puck. And of course, you still get a few headhunters out there. But, yeah, it is tough when you have that difference in, there's guys out there with a full beard.
Yeah.
And then there's
Yeah.
there's kids that still shower at home.
I was
You know?
I weighed like 75 pounds, and there were kids like when I was playing AAA like my last year. Like I thought this was the year I was like, okay, like these guys are huge. I weighed probably 75 pounds, and there was guys out there that were 180.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like I had a really like low center of gravity. I was like I they call me Chippy for a reason.
Yeah.
I would
Had the
I
edge
would
to you.
throw like I
Yeah.
would I was very competitive. Like I knew how to angle guys. I was on defense, so I would I would throw the weight around. But these guys, like I took a couple brutal hits that like just head smacking off the ice, like or when they throw the puck in and you're a defenseman and you got to go get that.
Oh yeah.
And these forwards are just coming in 150 pounds, and I'm my little just getting railed, and it was just like, okay, I
Yeah.
gotta like
It's not
protect
fun.
myself, protect my head, and like
I made the mistake of playing up a year, and I guess that team they only had an A team. There was no B, so I was on like the A team 1 year up.
yeah.
Destined for the show.
As
As we learned in last
I was
episode.
exactly. I was waiting. I was waiting for the Leaf scouting staff to come to the Beaverton Blades single A
You were
game
taking
and be
hits
like,
left, right, and center.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
"Guy." Unfortunately, and this is what derailed my entire career, is that I was going for the puck, neutral zone, and I was going up against a man child, like
Yeah.
full beard. Like
Oh,
this guy
yeah.
just shaved, and he had this double already coming through.
yeah.
And he's 12
He exactly.
or 10.
He destroyed me. Like he got down. Like I tried to get low. He got low too. And then I tried to like get out of the way of his check. So I was like lifting up then. And then he just comes up and smashes me. He lifted me up over the boards and into the stanchion. And my ribs, I'd like turned sideways and just went poof against the stanchion, and I cracked my ribs. So
Ah.
yeah, that wasn't fun. And the thing about when you break your ribs, they're like, yep, they're broken.
Yeah, there's
Good luck.
There's no
just
cast.
gotta
There's
heal-
like,
Yeah.
just gotta heal
try not to
themselves.
breathe for
Or
6
lie
to
on
8
your
weeks. Yeah.
side for 6 months.
Yeah. So that's why I never made it, kids.
Yeah, like I got a couple stories from AAA. Like York Simcoe was Robert Thomas plays for St. Louis.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So he was playing a year up. I think that if I'm remembering this correctly, he was a year up. Then he comes he drops down to like our level, and holy crap, this kid was. It was just the strength on the feet. Like it was just like the skating ability was just next level. Like the guys that actually made it that I played against, it was the skating. It was how strong they were on their skates. Like he wasn't much bigger than me, but I try to step up on this guy, and he's just gonna run you over. And there was he was a kid on Quinty, and Quinty was like #1 in Ontario, and they were so good. And this kid, he skated exactly like Crosby, just like it was ridiculous. I remember,
Stocky.
stocky. I was at the blue line. I was trying to pinch. I was caught flat-footed. He was coming straight at me, and I'm trying to step up and play the body on this guy.
Yeah.
He skates right over top of me, and that was like the worst. Like I think I did get a concussion. Like I
Oh no.
just
Oh, no.
cracked. Like he just skated over top of me, smacked the back of my head. I'm getting off the ice. I'm dazed.
Yep.
I'm yelling at my trainer. I can't see the bench. I can't see the bench. I'm swearing at the trainer, and it was like,
Yeah.
holy, I can't even see it. And then I get back, and they're like, yeah, you gotta go into the dark room and. But just these kids that are playing that elite level, especially at the AAA, it's the skating ability. Like if these kids are so strong on their skates, it's insane.
Skating is the difference maker for
Yeah,
sure. And I thought I was a
100%.
decent skater. And then I was on the ice with like some NHL guys. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
these guys, like everything is fine tuned, powerful, smooth. Like, and then I'm like, I could work on my backwards crossovers. I think like
Yeah.
these guys are nuts.
Nuts, man.
Going back to, I mean, what would you change in your career or like your minor hockey experience? I think for me, looking back, awesome career. The career I keep calling it. I don't know.
Still
Bringing
going.
in hockey, playing
Minor
hockey.
yeah, experience. I think that having more support for the coaches. Something that really helped me growing up is just what you learn through hockey outside of hockey, like respect and leadership, and just being on a team and being there for each other and that type of stuff. I would like to see that used more in hockey. So Hockey Canada, they basically give you a stack of drills if you're a coach. I'm like, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
It would
You have like 45-minute ice time to do like 2 drills.
Yeah.
But there's some coaches that they go above and beyond, and there's some really good coaches out there where it's important to them to develop not just good hockey players, but good people.
Mm-hmm.
And they will do things like have a little challenge for their team, for the guys on their team to do something in the community, like, volunteer.
Right.
Just small little things like that, little challenge. And I would love to have that as part of the Hockey Canada curriculum, where you're showing the value of giving back and being involved in the community and being a good person.
I like that. Yeah.
Right. I don't think that there's enough of that.
Instead of teaching kids that if you play hockey, you're top shit.
Yeah, you're better than everyone if you're on the rep team.
At AAA, they do that's like a huge thing, like a huge component. You guys at the beginning of the season, you got the meetings with the coaches, with the team. You said we're gonna cocoon. We're gonna cancel out the outside noise. The parents, we're not gonna listen. We're gonna build this team as a unit. And it was like a lot of team building stuff you do together. And I think that's like really like you need that, especially if you're trying to go like you guys are all working towards the goal, whether it's the OMHA final or whatever final you are in your league. You have to, come together as a team, like realizing some people are gonna have to make sacrifices. Some people are gonna have to not get the minutes that they want necessarily, but we're as a team, we're working towards this goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think AAA, they really do like a really good job of like just making sure it's like a team thing.
If there's one thing with AAA, it's that everyone there wants to win.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's the competitiveness.
It's easy for people to align with that.
Yeah.
Whereas in like minor hockey, not every kid that's there cares if they win
No.
or lose, right?
Here's the thing: is that in AAA, if the coach does not do a good job, he is gone. He's not
Right.
coming back. Whereas in minor hockey, the coaches are mostly, a lot of them are dads, and they're coaching because no one else would. So it's like, we need someone to coach the
Yeah.
kids. Anybody? Anyone? And sometimes it's like, I guess I'll do it.
Right.
So you don't really, they mean the best, right? But sometimes the skill development, it's not as tight
Yeah.
as running a AAA practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Matt. So going on, we covered minor hockey. Obviously, we can go a lot deeper
I
into
could talk
that.
about minor hockey and my team that I was on all day. I was watching Mitch Marner, that little video where it's like who's most likely to talk about their minor career, and it was like Mitch Marner talking about the London Knights. Like apparently he just
yeah.
brings it up
All the time.
all in the room. Like that's me, dude. I could talk about minor hockey and the minor hockey days all day long.
Forever.
Reminisce.
Talking about glory days.
Forever.
I mean, yeah, we could go on, and like I don't want to paint like a negative view of hockey, because obviously there are like the darker sides of it. From my experience, like I didn't see it, and obviously I know it is out there.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to speak from experience about something like that. But I think like something like developing character and looking for that and kind of promoting that. Hopefully that would help bring in coaches that agree with that sort of thing. So then, the guys that are like, oh yeah, like trying to teach good character. Well, if they don't really agree with it, they might not be willing to coach it or teach it.
Yeah.
Maybe we remove some of the coaches out that are just more focused on, I guess the not so good side of things.
Also, you're like the kids are young. You know what I mean? They're young.
Yeah.
They're like, I know, like I wasn't the best version of myself when I was 9 around the boys in the locker room. Like it's not like
you get mom mentality.
Yeah, it's mob exactly. You kind of you're not thinking for yourself in those environments. It's just like you're not really thinking at all. You're just like you're in the locker room with the boys and you're doing whatever you're doing, and not all of it's gonna be great, but some of it's gonna be fun. And so, you just gotta learn. Like these kids are like 9, 10 years old. You gotta learn like who you are.
That's why I think what Jared's saying about the coaches is so important, right?
Yeah,
To make the
huge
values that
influence
the
on-
coaches have be on good character and positive team building.
Reinforce some type of expectations on
Like you do
what's right and what's wrong.
You do something off the ice as a kid on the team that's like offside, then it should have consequences on the ice. Just like if you do something good, and if your team does something good, then you have it's like positive reinforcement, right?
Even something as simple as rewarding, good behavior, like or something like you see a player do something that's a good sportsmanship, right? And you just call that out and you make sure you point out, hey, I loved when this happened and he did something respectful. Maybe a kid picks up all the tape in the dressing room after practice,
Right?
There it is.
and then you let the boys know after, hey, by the way, Chippy here cleaned up all the tape. Love that. We're respecting hockey.
like that would happen.
I'm laughing because I had a situation where we had with our team our trainer would bring oranges.
Yep.
We got oranges in between periods.
Orange
Yeah,
peels
the
and
orange. And then so we got the oranges, and of course, me and the couple of buddies were kind of the troublemakers on the team.
Yeah.
We're throwing the oranges at each other, right? We're throwing them before the
Really?
game. We're throwing them, and now they're just sitting all over the floor.
Yep.
And the coach comes in, and he's pissed. He's like, "What the hell's going on?"
Yeah.
Right? And then it's silent. Who did this? Right? He's asking, and it just goes silent. Like I knew, me and my buddy, everyone that was doing it knew who it was, but no one on the team said anything. So when the coach he goes, "I'm gonna leave," and the people that did it have to pick it, you're gonna pick it up.
Smart.
So then we all knew who we were, and everyone else, and it was like, all right, I'm gonna go pick up these orange peels and throw them out.
That's good.
At least
stuff.
you weren't
get
like. At least you didn't point to the poor kid that didn't get any ice time and say,
Yeah, 0 minutes over here. Yeah, go pick it up now.
Right, and then there's a good, look for the coachable moments. You come in after and you say, all right, let's talk here at respect.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
and then it's just a way to get that on the kids' radar.
yeah.
So we talked about minor hockey. Let's talk about the NHL. We got a post
go.
up here on Reddit. The state of the NHL. Are they anti-fans? So what's wrong with the NHL? According to this guy, doesn't like the ads on the helmet.
Digital ad.
Doesn't
Horrible.
doesn't like
Digital
the
ads.
ads on the jerseys. Horrible digital ads. Absolute joke of streaming options. Which I don't disagree.
It's pretty.
Yeah, the blackout's crazy.
There is a
local
site
TV.
I saw. Sportsnet has a thing that will tell you which games you can actually watch now.
Yeah.
Which is okay. That's like the bare minimum. The
La-
problem is you can't watch them all of your favorite team from one platform.
Last year was bad because there was, in Canada anyways, there's Sportsnet, there was the NHL Network, and then there was TSN. Those were the three places where you would find the games. You had to pay for each of those if you wanted to watch every Leafs game.
Right.
And sometimes you would go on one, oh, not available. Go on the next one, oh, not available. And then you go on the one that is on, and the app glitches and you can't watch it.
Did
It's
you ever
like,
have
oh,
Leafs
sorry.
TV?
Yeah, back in the day, but no, I never got it. Yeah.
That's what they started that out, and then I think was it TSN or Rogers bought them out.
Did
Yeah.
they?
Yeah, they discontinued it because they just bought them. They're like, oh, you're getting too big. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pay for all 3 channels. now.
yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit of a joke. So it's funny because it is easier to watch the games if you pirate them. If you have and
One site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and sometimes the stream is better on the pirated site.
I wouldn't know.
No, I would never. I've heard.
I pay for every platform
I've
possible.
heard,
I've
I've
heard
heard that streaming is very easy.
But that's bad. That's bad that the official people responsible for this cannot provide a service better than some guy who's just like jacking the
Well, it's
stream on
'cause-
his computer and uploading
Yeah,
to a
yeah,
server.
dude.
Because those streams don't have the problem of they have multiple people that are paying for the rights to broadcast it.
Yeah.
It's just broadcasting rights. The NHL should get available themselves.
But even the quality of the stream, like I remember you told me that used to sometimes it would glitch, and they just had like a picture when it's like commercial break in progress.
Yeah.
So
oh yeah, we've seen that.
a
And it's got the
still
little NHL,
image,
little smoky.
They're
like-
redoing the ice, and it's like, wow, this guy's been working on the ice for like 8 years. What's going on?
and then you realize that it's frozen, right? And you miss like the half of the third period.
Oh, that was before they even had the moving
Yeah.
thing. It was just a still image.
image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like watching, like, this was a long commercial
Long
break.
commercial
Meanwhile,
break.
they've been playing it for 5 minutes.
But how can the NHL not find a better way to fill that space? Like, why don't they promote
Just put
their
highlights on for
product?
me.
Put highlights on.
Yeah.
Have one person just like I'd sit there and be like, all right, let's take a look at this sweet goal by
Yeah,
Ovi. Like,
get a
Yeah.
beauty.
people
Get
fired
a,
up. Like, and then you can create fans of other teams because you're promoting the league. and
Commercials
their
are
product.
unbearable. I like now, like in today's age, like I can't sit through a commercial. Like I can't stand them. Like when
Right.
in between, like, well, because now it's like you go on something like TikTok or you go on something like YouTube, there isn't any commercials.
Mm.
So in between, so it's like now it's like holy, like these commercials. I don't know, like the commercials are just brutal.
Not a fan, eh? Not a fan.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
I think I would rather watch commercial than
No way.
commercial break in progress. I'm bored.
I don't think so.
No.
I think I'd rather sit in silence and
Really?
reminisce on my team losing the Leafs again, and
The Leafs,
reflect.
the Leafs just let in a late game goal, and they cut to commercial break, and you're just sitting there in silence.
Yeah.
Literally.
A single tear coming down the cheek. No,
Yeah.
I would like if they filled it with something. Like they could.
If
they
they're
could-
not gonna, if they didn't sell the commercial time there, then they should put something of value to the watcher. I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make it a better experience for the fan. And that's what's saying. Are they anti-fans? Like they just don't even care,
Right.
right? Like let's put something in there. So then they got the concession prices that are so outrageous that even NHL players make fun of them.
It's the same with every.
It costs a lot if you go.
$17 for a beer.
Yeah.
If you're Phil Kessel and you're going to a baseball game and you want a glizzy, it's gonna cost you 11
Be a
bones.
$25 Lizzie.
Then he's saying diversity jerseys. What are the diversity jerseys? I must have missed that. I saw the reverse retro.
Starting at $750.
$750 for a jersey.
I don't
Is
know.
that true?
That's
Let's-
unreal.
There's no
I
way.
love
NHL
that.
of-
There's no way a jersey is
Retro
$750.
what's diversity jersey?
I don't know.
Apparently
see
they
how
don't want to
fast
sell too many of them.
No. Reverse retro is that?
I guess I don't know. That's the only thing that I've
The
seen.
reverse retros, I could make a better jersey.
Yeah.
Start designing.
Okay, what's your favorite one on here? Real quick, pick.
I think the Vegas one looks pretty cool. It's sharp.
I like the Pittsburgh.
Or the
What's
Blues
that
one's
one?
kinda
What's
neat.
the 22 guy there that you just had it on? With the guy running with the stick. Up,
What?
beside the stars.
Besides
Beside the stars. Oh, to the right hand side.
Who's
yeah,
that?
right there. No, over.
Beside the Kraken.
Yep. In
This guy?
between those two. Yeah.
Oh,
there
what
we
the
go.
heck?
I have
What is
no clue
that?
Who that is?
Who is that?
Oh, is that the Minnesota Wild's right there?
I do not mind the Panthers and the top left. Panthers and the Montreal Canadiens. The baby blue. Pretty cool.
The Chicago. I don't mind that. That's kind of. I like it different. Like I like the Vegas.
I
Is
like,
cool.
you know
I
what?
don't mind
Of all the throwback jerseys or retro jerseys they've
Yep.
done, I think this is a pretty solid lineup.
Which one?
Funny thing is, I haven't even looked at the Leafs one yet. I hadn't seen it
the,
anywhere.
the,
What's
the Leafs
different?
just looks exactly,
What's
and look at New Jersey and Ottawa as well. They're
The
just
Leafs
the
looks
same.
like a sweater.
We could have done so much more with the Leafs.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
All right,
Alright,
let's
anyway.
let's go back to the old Reddit thread there.
Yeah.
Obsessive behavior towards sports gambling.
Oh, like every commercial is like.
Every-
Wayne,
Everything
if
is-
I see another Wayne Gretzky giving me that side eye in between
MGM, bet MGM
Holy
or whatever.
Wayne,
And
Wayne.
then it cuts to sports interaction, and then you're like, oh, DraftKings too. I should just download all these things.
And then they're like,
Get in the bag.
oh, now it's back to the broadcast, and we're gonna see like some plays getting broken down. No, they're just talking about the over under.
Yeah, the over and under. Like holy
It's
crap.
10 minutes of the guys
Where
getting
are we
paid
going?
Yeah.
to talk about the money puck or whatever. I don't know.
God.
Yeah, it says it messes people over and ruins their lives because, like, gambling addiction is a thing. So basically, the guy's saying that the ad should be treated the same as alcohol and tobacco. They are really cramming it down people's throats.
It's actually
the
it's gonna.
gambling
There's
stuff.
no way they keep it this way. There's
No,
just
they
no way.
can't.
There's too like
They
it's
can't.
just so like me and my dad are in here. I can't believe I'm seeing another. We mute them. I mute them. I can't stand.
Right.
They're every other commercial. We got what's that guy? The Jay and Dan guy from Sportsnet. Do you remember?
I would
Jay
say
and
his
Dan?
name would be either Jay or
Dan
Dan. Yeah.
Dan O'Toole. He's got his new. He's got set up. I don't know what he's.
Bet Rivers, I think is his
Bet
name.
River.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
crap, Danny! Come on now.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on now. We know what's going on.
So let us know in the comments, what do you think is wrong with the NHL? What would you fix? What would you
I think-
change?
I think the challenges that the NHL's focus is obviously like so clearly obviously
money.
it makes sense on money,
You gotta make
revenue,
it,
advertisements, people like businesses paying for stuff.
at the cost of
And
the fans.
I feel like that's the money making method, but the focus should still be on the fans' experience because that's going to make those things more valuable, right? Like if you have a valuable fan experience, people are watching your streams all the time or buying your merch and stuff like that. It's like, okay, now that's more valuable to a sponsor.
Yeah, in the end, you really just want people to feel like people are going to spend their money. They're going to
Yeah.
buy stuff, but do they feel good spending that money? Like if you can create that experience where someone just wants to give you their money, like,
Yeah.
and they get something and they enjoy it and it's like, it's valuable
Like
to them.
every team should have a thing you can buy that lets you watch every game and gives you behind the scenes stuff. Like Toronto has like social media team and stuff. The NHL should just make it so that all of these social media teams have an outlet that they put to, and then the NHL has a resource for people. Like say you're like a Dallas Stars fan.
Yeah.
Okay, subscribe to this for whatever per month.
Yeah,
you can
like-
watch every game plus here's access to all the
Yeah.
everything Dallas Stars.
Feel you're part of the club.
Yeah, or if you're a subscriber, you get whatever percentage off of Dallas Stars jerseys in the NHL shop.
They got to do it better
Oh,
at
yeah.
promoting the Stars. Like I don't know like a lot of people on these other teams that are in the West Division. I couldn't name 3 guys on Minnesota Wild.
Right.
I couldn't name
Kirill Kaprizov.
4 guys
Boldy.
on Vegas Golden Knights, to be honest.
Matt Boldy. I have him in my Tim Hortons picks today.
like-
Didn't know of him
Zuccarello.
before today.
Like yeah, like I don't know. Like it's
Yeah.
just the Stars need to be like Austin Matthews needs to be on every commercial on the face of the game. McDavid,
Oh, yeah.
like they just don't do a good enough.
They don't market
job.
the Stars as well.
No,
as they
and
need
even on the
to,
way,
yeah.
like what the NBA does, they're the one that they do the best promoting ever. Like on the way into the rink, they do a little pregame show. What are these guys wearing? They're starting to do it now a little more, but it was the suits. Like let's switch it up a little bit. Matthews, they're bringing in the hats now. Like
Yeah.
really promote a different aspect of like the off.
Got to get on that. You got to get the Style and Flow hat on
That's what I'm talking about.
on
That's what
Willie
I'm talking-
Styles.
That's what I'm talking
Hey,
about.
Willie Styles is wearing a Style and Flow hat.
Oh,
Trust
nice.
me,
There you
trust
go.
me,
Set
trust
up.
me, trust me.
Yeah.
We have it going. I was
We can
talking.
get
I was
all the
talking to some of those
grinders.
Michigan guys. Some of
Yep.
those Michigan guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're some Style and Flow members. What is it? Who's that guy that's got 7 points over this weekend? That might go number 1.
Michael Misa?
You sound like Jar Jar Binks.
Right, it is. Yeah. From where?
Philippe starts with an F.
Hmm.
He's on Michigan. He's so gross.
I don't
was
know.
just-
No, I don't
he's,
follow. I don't follow.
got like 7 points over this weekend, and he's Team Style and Flow. Is all I'm saying.
Oh, nice. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
And we love that.
That's great. Yeah, for me, like what I would change about the NHL, I would love, I'm going back to the streaming thing and going back to yours about promoting the Stars, right? Promoting
Yeah.
the, what do you got going on? Oh, here we go. We got
Just
him?
go to Michigan lineup. That's not him. No.
Sorry, interrupted here.
Sorry.
Interrupted.
You guys are distracted.
Just go Michigan 7 points.
I'm following the facials. Okay, so promoting the Stars during the streaming instead of commercial break in progress. Why don't you have a sick highlight reel that just plays, right?
Yeah. Sorry, we're Michigan hockey.
We're just Google searching things at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Stars.
All right, great. We'll figure it out. Come back to this
Oh,
next
well,
podcast.
okay,
All right,
yeah,
we're not going to spend
yeah,
2 hours
yeah.
looking up who got 7 points on Team Michigan. Team
Beauty.
Style and Flow.
Absolute beauty.
We talked about nicknames. Best nickname in hockey.
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
That's pretty solid.
Happy.
There's probably a few that you can't say because it's like, oh yeah, I can't explain why. I'd say the best nickname. It starts somewhere, and then it transforms until you're like so far removed that only the person with the nickname knows why they're called that. You know what I mean?
Well, there wasn't that guy Tiger Williams or something in the NHL. He was a fighter back in the day. His name was actually Tiger, but
Yeah.
His name was basically a nickname.
Oh, gotcha. Like
Yeah.
no one knew his real name. Like they
Yeah.
only knew his nickname.
Yeah,
like that.
but I'm pretty sure he actually legally his name was Tiger.
Oh,
But like people thought it was just his nickname.
I
So
gotcha.
it's
Okay,
so
yeah.
far that that's the only thing that people
Willie
know him as.
Styles is kind of unbeatable.
Willie Styles.
Willie
is good.
Styles? Are you kidding me?
What I'm saying is like say your name is Hayden Hiles.
Yeah.
And then they call you Hiles, and they call you Hillsy, and then they call you Hill, and then they call you Mountain, and then they call you Everest. Now your nickname is Everest. What's up, Everest? Because your last name is Hiles. That's what I'm saying.
Wow,
like
that's
those,
cool.
the
You
progression.
broke that down.
it happens.
That
Like
was
those.
very interesting.
Right.
See,
Everest.
My
That's-
nickname in hockey was Hand Tiles.
hands
I
Hiles.
think
Yeah.
it might be Everest now.
Yeah,
I think
right.
It might be Everett.
Let me call you Peak. Right?
Call him Peak.
Yeah.
We'll call you
Peaky.
Evie. What's up,
Peaky, now
Evie?
it's Peaky.
It just keeps changing until
Yeah.
something sticks. You just keep, that's how you make a nickname. If you want to make a nickname for guys on your team, just start style and flow. Just start flowing, and just start saying stuff, and then you call them that. And if it sticks, it sticks. It stays.
Yeah.
If not, you change it the next week to something somewhat related. You just keep going down that path.
I also
you get yourself a nickname.
feel like a great nickname starts and then it just builds with the same name over time and it becomes more and more cemented as that person.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like so there's
Usually
two
the guy
different
doesn't like it.
styles.
He starts off not liking the nickname. That's usually how
And
it
you
goes.
embrace it.
And then
yeah.
you embrace beauty. Like,
Yeah.
like,
You-
kidding me?
Usually in hockey, to be honest, it's just you're adding a Y to the end or an ER.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Depending on how it ends.
My last name is Rupke because it already ends with an E.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna call me Ruppers or Rupper,
Rupper,
right?
Rupper,
Rupp.
Or they'll just shorten it, like take off the end.
B,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right?
Chappy.
Chippy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty
Mhm.
much it. Yeah.
You're adding a Y or an ER, and that's pretty much the extent of most nicknames.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't go much past that.
All right, topics. Anything else?
I had
Wrap this
one.
on.
I wanted to just a quick think back to playing hockey growing up.
Mhm.
There's always the road trips.
Mm-hmm.
What's your most memorable road trip?
Oh yeah, I got this. You want me to go first?
Sure, go ahead.
Most memorable road trip. We mostly just played like tri-county, like half-hour
First off,
drive.
what age group was it, roughly, do you think?
I was probably 14 years old
Okay.
at this point, and it was the rep team, and we're in the playoffs, and we loaded up a school bus, and
Oh,
we're driving
nice.
like 3 hours in like February to play like the other team,
Right.
and about halfway through, one of the goalie needed to go to the bathroom, and like really needed to go.
Emergency
And,
sit-
and it was a
situation.
school bus. It wasn't, these
With the
stage
fancy,
coaches, and, right?
porta potty in the
So
back.
he just yells up. He's like, "Pull over!" But like after he sweated for like
Yeah.
45 minutes, and we're all laughing in the
Yeah.
back,
Oh my gosh. yeah.
right? And we're just like, "Oh, what's gonna happen?" So eventually couldn't hold it anymore. He says, "Pull over!" And we're on a highway. It's dark. it's snowing, and he runs out. And this is like the most embarrassing thing. Like he has an audience.
Yeah.
He goes out, and there's like 3 feet of snow, so he doesn't have much places to go. It's
Yeah.
a barren ditch of snow that he has to trunce through in his dress shoes.
Oh no.
Right? He didn't
Oh
bring
my
his
gosh.
snow boots to go and
Yeah.
have his business in the woods. So he just goes out into the ditch, and everyone opens the window, and we're all cheering him on.
Giving it
Of
to
course,
him,
right? We're
so,
cheering him on.
Yeah, of course.
And he does his business, and one of the guys at the back of the bus sticks his head out the window and yells, "It's a steamer!" and
And that's the most memorable
that's
road
just
trip for you?
it sticks
love
with
that.
me. It's,
Right.
Yeah, I'm easily amused. And
Yeah.
that was just a funny experience.
That's funny. My most memorable road trip, and this is what made me think to ask you guys. It wasn't even that far of a drive, but growing up, I remember plenty of snowstorms. Parents driving you through snowstorm, you barely get there in time. A lot of the time, my dad was the one making me late, but
Yeah.
on this particular evening, it was probably like whiteout conditions. I remember my parents had to pull over, and I think they called a buddy of mine's parents from the other team. I was probably in like maybe what's before Bantam? Like how old would you be?
Pee-wee?
Like Pee-wee, like second year Pee-wee or whatever. I don't know how old I would be then,
yeah.
like 12, 13.
12, 13, yeah.
12, 13. And so my buddy shows up with his parents. They picked us up. I guess maybe they had better snow tires. I'm just like 13. I'm not really thinking about it too much, right? But it was really snowy, and I just remember hopping in the back of the car with my friend, And I'm like, holy, you got TVs back here?
Oh,
yeah.
So he had rock like so. This is like a big game, big playoff game, right? He had like Rocky 2 playing on
Oh,
the
nice.
on
Oh,
the on
yeah.
the screen back there, and like
Yeah.
the dad, like he was one of the assistant coaches. He's like, you want a candy? He's like,
Oh.
gave me a Werther's candy or whatever. And
No
like
way,
meanwhile
fully loaded.
meanwhile they're like
loaded
driving
whip.
through the snowstorm like this, and we're just back here like living
Yeah.
the dream.
Yeah.
So that as a barely teenager, that was like probably the most fun car ride.
Parents are white knuckle on.
Yeah,
the street,
exactly.
like,
Yeah.
trying not to die. It's
And
like the
we're
Star
just back
Wars.
here. Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah, well, yeah. When you're driving in the snow, looks
Anything.
like light speed. Yeah,
Nice.
so that was most memorable for me. What about you?
I
Etch?
love it. Yeah, I got one. I was trying to think, but there's quite a few. But I remember one. So we just got a brand new caravan, Dodge Grand Caravan.
Oh,
so
yeah.
so we had the TVs at
Yeah,
the back.
yeah.
So it was my dad was driving, and then it was me and my buddy in the back. We were both D partners.
Right,
He's like, yeah, like my best buddy.
inseparable.
Yeah, inseparable. Like, and so we're going towards the game or whatever. It's sunny. It's like, but it's like negative like 32, sunny. We're driving up the highway. I think we're going to Clarington, and so we're driving. We're flying. We're going like 120.
Yeah.
And me and my buddy were watching Don Cherry.
Oh yeah, Rock'em.
Oh,
Sock.
Rock'em
Whatever,
Sock.
yeah,
Yeah,
Rock'em
yeah.
Sock'em. We're in the back, like
fired
just
up.
goofing off. Like it's a long drive. I think it's like a 2.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
So we're flying up the highway, and then all of a sudden, it was like black ice. So there's
Ooh.
black ice all like along on the highways. You couldn't see it.
Yeah.
So we're going. It's sunny out. Boom. So
That's the worst time
Yeah.
for black ice too.
worst time.
Yeah. You
And-
see a reflection
Nice and
on the road in the winter off the road. You
Yeah.
better slow right
yeah,
down.
you slow down.
Uh-huh.
And so we're going. We're flying, and then all of a sudden, we just kind of there's a pileup in front of us. So my
Oh,
dad tries to hammer the brakes,
Yeah.
and we slowed down enough, kind of just
Got the Goodyear
kinda
tires.
grazed into the car in front of us.
Yeah.
So we're chilling. My dad's like, "Are you guys okay?" We're still watching Don Cherry. We're like,
I imagine it's a sequence where like the body check is happening. It's like,
"Yeah, exactly, exactly."
And Don Cherry's like on the thing, like, and he
Yeah.
got rocked.
Exactly.
Northbound on a southbound lane. Not now, Don.
Yeah.
Not now, Donnie. But so yeah, so we go, we tap the car in front of us. It's all good. We're chilling, and then probably like 30 seconds later, we're just sitting, and then my dad looks in the rear view, and he sees the guy
Someone coming.
behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he comes full speed and crushes us from behind. Totals the
No.
car.
No.
Totals the car.
Jeez.
We get out, and the guy, like, we were all good. My dad's like, "You guys good?" Like, we got smoked. Like, it ragdolled us. And then my dad gets out, and the guy, check on the guy that just ran into us.
Mhm.
And he was a paraplegic, so he didn't have a foot brake.
Oh.
So he couldn't get to the handbrake in time.
Oh.
So he
jeez.
comes in and just, ragdolls us. So now we're all good, but now we're going to miss the game. So now it's all about the game. It's AAA.
Oh my
We
God.
can't have the 2-star defenseman missing the game at this point.
Someone else had to come
So
get you.
no, so yeah, we're sitting there, and then of course, like the team's driving up, the rest of the team's driving up. So all of a sudden, one of our trainers just starts driving by, and we're like,
Yeah.
What?
and so my dad's got to stay with the car, and then we're like, "Yo, can you take them to the game?"
Yeah.
So we throw our bags in their car. We in the
Jeez.
middle of the
Quick
highway. In the
transfer.
middle of the highway, we're not worried about
In the
Dad.
middle of black ice
yeah,
traffic.
my dad's got to deal
pile
with
up
the
jam.
pile up, and then so
Guys driving through the ditch to get you to
Yeah.
the game.
yeah, dude. So
Oh
we
my
ended up
gosh.
getting to the game. I ended up scoring.
Yes,
and
there you go.
we won the game, and my
That
dad missed
tops
it.
it off. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was probably like the craziest road. Like
That
trip.
is wild.
Yeah, pretty
Sheesh.
wild.
Did your dad roll up with the Grand Caravan after all
Total,
banged up?
Total. So it was actually beauty because when it's totaled, like you get, I don't know, you get the refund
Insurance,
or
yeah.
whatever at the end. Yeah. So it was
Yeah.
like we were kind of fired up about it, but we
Crazy.
didn't love
You
love the
upgraded to a
Caravan.
Grand
yeah, yeah. We ended
Caravan,
up getting like a Trailblazer, a Chevrolet Trailblazer instead.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid.
I'll leave her with one more because this came to mind when you're talking about the team bus.
Yeah.
Later in life, after minor hockey, I signed up for something called the Canadian Moose, and it's a team that just gets together and plays hockey in a different country. So we went to Iceland to
Oh.
play hockey against the Reykjavik and Akureyri are the two like main towns there.
Okay.
Just like a fun experience, friendship tourney.
Right.
So we're in this tour bus, and it was a wild experience. This tour bus. We were like, "Where are we going? What's going on?" We're supposed to be at the rink. You know, we're checking our time. Like, I don't know, we're gonna make it. This guy know where he's going, and like we're not from there, so we're just trusting this guy.
Yeah.
It turns out that he was lost. Right. So first he's lost, and I'm like, it's a small island. Like you should know how. Like there's only a few roads in Iceland, right? Like
You think it wouldn't be too hard to find your way?
like did this guy fly in to drive this bus? Like, come on, guy, let's get going. So we're like kind of checking our clock. Okay, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. He finally finds out where he's going. Right, gets on the road, and then starts acting a little weird. And like, what is going on? So he pulls into the gas station.
Yeah.
And then the bus just like pulls and slowly rolls to a stop. And we're like, the pumps are up there. Let's go.
What's going
Yeah.
on?
He had run out of gas.
Oh my god.
What?
So
Hey, but you're at in the parking lot.
we were in the parking lot
Of a gas station, though.
of a gas
Not of
station,
the-
but the
yeah.
team had to get out and push the bus.
Oh
No
my
way.
God.
All like 50,
No way.
all like 25 of us get out, and we're all pushing the bus, and like we wanted to get to that game.
Yeah,
So we're like,
it's a good leg workout.
boys.
That was the best
Yeah.
pregame warm up I ever had. Was pushing the bus up to the pump so we get gas. We can make
How
it to the
old
rink
were
in
you?
time. I was like 20 or something.
Okay, so you guys were strong enough. You
I
could
was a
push.
man. I could have done it
Yeah.
myself. The rest were there for support.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's let's wrap that up. That's the second podcast. Let us know what topics you want to see in the third one. What are you guys loving? What do you want to see more of? And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
The Puck Daddy podcast.
Hell yeah.
Have a good day.
Hell yeah, baby.